Wow, I clicked go live and it says 1 minute has elapsed. That's the fastest minute in my life. So this is the new logo for my new studio. It's the new name of this channel and will be the name of my imprint under which I publish the books. Throwback Studios. It was going to be True Believer Studios, but I didn't want any kind of hassles from Marvel or Stan Lee's Foundation or whatever. So TB Throwback works for me. I'm old, and my comics are a throwback to before political correctness ever entered the sphere. So there you go. Let's see if I can manage to manage the screen. And so this is the cover, black and white. I just sent this in to the colorist. This is a JPEG version, so you can ignore the light blue. That's where the JPEG is reading the titanium white differently. The TIFF does not do so. So there's the big guy and the heroine of the story. Kind of pleased with the composition. I'm digging it. So yeah, there's that. And I'm bored. I'm taking a break. It's the middle of the night. Well, it's 11:30 at night, 11:40. And I'm bored. I have one last sheet of Bristol. Ordered some more paper. It'll be here either Sunday or Wednesday. I don't remember which. And I will resume work. Went ahead and bought Blue Line Bristol this time. It's a little bit heavier plate. It's 4-ply plate finish as opposed to just getting a pack of Strathmore. It's just easier. It's better paper. It'll hold the watercolor washes that I'm doing a lot better. So yeah, there's that. Let's see if anybody wants to pop on. Quiet night here in Georgia. Of course, it's Friday night, so I'm sure everyone's out partying, having a good time, doing the crazy things you do when you're young, and there's always tomorrow. I'm old, and tomorrow is not guaranteed, so I'm at home. I don't even know if my camera's working. Let's find out. Yeah, it's pointed all cattywampus, but there it is. Close enough. Oh, it is big time cattywampus. There we go. The 1 point perspective was not working for my brain. But it's kind of grainy, so there's that too. So we'll just hang out for a few and see if anyone wants to pop on and talk. I'm trying to figure out how to do a drawstring where I can just sit here. I think I can go live on StreamYards with my phone pointed down on the tripod at my drawing board, and I can watch on the computer screen and be able to see comments or whatever if anyone comes in. Uh, so maybe that's something I can do. I might try that in a little while. So yeah, with the last page of Bristol I've got out of this pack, what I'm going to be doing is uh, redrawing some of the boo-boo panels or panels that I think could look better. You get those scanned, and then you in Photoshop you can cut and paste them onto the page scans. Because my goal, of course, for this book is for it to be the very best possible work that I am capable of producing. And it's been really bizarre relearning how to do comic books, to do sequential art, that storytelling. Uh, haven't done it since 90 whatever, 93, 4, 5, somewhere around there. And when I was doing it, I had an inker. Actually, I had 3 inkers, uh, Glenn Anderson, Merle Fager, and Jeff Priester. And I never had to ink, but I'm doing this book solo except for coloring the cover. So there's that. And I'm okay with it. I'm kind of digging what I'm coming up with. But I'm finding that it's easier to use uh, my painting, my paint brushes, get the black acrylic, water it down, use washes. And that's producing an effect that I really like. Got some samples here. Let me see if I can pull those up. Let me see, let me see. Oh, I gotta share screen. Entire screen. Let me minimize. This file is PARIAH raw, so it is very raw. This is the painted portrait of the heroine of the story that I'm going to make as a stretch goal. This will be one of her cards. And then these are just some of the roughs. These are just shot on my phone. They're not scanned, so they look really rough. But I'm enjoying this process of relearning. This was a rough concept cover. I voted it off the island, so it will not be happening. Hey James, welcome my friend. Glad to have you here. Just hanging out. Alright, how do I stop sharing? I'm stuck in it wondering. I don't know how to stop this. Jane, get me off this crazy thing. There we go. No one else was streaming. I was working on the other side of the house on the book and was extremely bored out of my skull. So I thought I'd come and just go live and see if anybody wanted to come hang for a few. I have changed the name of the channel here from Alternate Cover Studio to Throwback Studios, which is the name of the imprint uh, that I'll be publishing under. So I've designed the logo. Let's see if I can share screen again and show that. I'm still new to all this technology stuff, so bear with. So many things you have to click. There it is. That's the logo for the studio and probably for the channel. I don't know. I kind of like the cartoon of myself in the Hawaiian shirt that my friend did. James, what are you doing out this or up at this unreasonable hour? Based on your comments, you're close to my age bracket. There is a local shortage of Dr. Pepper. Apparently, the guy that runs the route for this area missed his run because he was sick. Nobody filled in, so I had to go get a whole case of Dr. Thunder knockoff, and it's actually not bad. It's not as bad as Mr. Pibb. So we'll go with Dr. Thunder. Of the generics, I think I like Dr. Dazzle the best. So, I'm not going to comment very heavy on current events. Yeah, you're right, James. Fortunately, our area hasn't been hit bad because of the lockdown or whatever. When it all started, of course, I'll never understand the hoarding of toilet paper. I will never understand that. We buy once a month for all of our supplies here at the house. And just, if you run out of something, you buy a little more. So we had plenty of toilet paper. We never ran out. But going down aisles and seeing the whole paper aisle, paper towels, napkins, toilet tissue, all gone. You would think that people were not resourceful enough to think that, hey, if there's somehow a shortage, I can wipe my ass on a rag and throw it in the wash or throw it away, whatever you want to do. It's crazy. But I wasn't going to comment on current events so much, except to say that I lay the deaths of those 13 servicemen squarely at the feet of the current administration. It was irresponsible, it was stupid, and it got my brothers in uniform killed. So, I'm not particularly happy with the Dementor in chief. But I was going to comment on the fact that, so far the coof has dodged my world. Just touching on the peripheries, but I have one colleague on life support right now with the coof, and two have died within a day of each other, and two more plus their families are all down with it. So it was a rough week getting all that news all dumped on me at one time, and feeling so powerless to do anything about it. I mean, there's literally nothing I can do. So that was a little unsettling, and I'm thankful that I have my art. I have Tacy, the most wonderful wife in the world. I have, I said, my art, but I also have my new community of comic skaters that have been very cool for the most part. There are a couple of exceptions, but I've noticed that even those that are busy being annoyances, they mellow out after a little while and relax. And so my son sent me a uh, recording of just him soloing. And I'm going to share screen and play this if I can. It's just a little 34-second clip. Figuring out how to use all this stuff is daunting. right, then we're back here. You know, that's interesting, James. I'd actually wondered of all the commodities. Uh, I know that O2 is a commodity, and I mean it's not hard to produce, but there are only limited production facilities. So, what a strange tie-in that the pandemic could slow down space exploration. Let's play this thing, James. Share screen. Uh, we'll do entire screen. Allow, and then go over here, and we'll see if this will play. And that's that. So, hey Anthony, welcome.
What's up? What were you
Uh,
looking at?
I was listening to my son Jam. He just sent me a 34-second clip of him soloing over an older track.
Oh, very cool.
How are you, sir? Oh no,
Uh,
no audio,
I'm
James.
good.
Okay, my bad. I'm still fairly incompetent at how to use all this technology. I will learn, I promise. I figure I've
That's
got
what.
two months before I launch my campaign. I have that long to shoot a video for my campaign launch, to get good at sharing audio and clipping movie clips and whatever dark
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. You gotta check that little box. You think? I think it should be checked by default, and then if you don't want to share audio, you uncheck it. You know?
And see, I never even saw the box for the audio because it wasn't a YouTube clip. He sent it to me in Messenger, so maybe
Yeah.
that was it.
And and how did you share it? You shared the Chrome tab, right?
Um, no, share entire screen.
Uh.
That may have been the boo boo.
Well, you could do that. Only problem is if people talk, usually there's an echo. Um,
Uh,
if you share the whole screen, because it'll pick up your device audio, everything, you know. Um, do
I'll
you
get
have the
better.
do you have the tab open still?
I can. Hold on a second.
But I dropped one goldfish cracker. That's it. You got it. There's no more.
You got a
He's like
mooch
under,
hound?
yeah. He's like under my chair, sniffing around like there's like he's gonna find gold because he found one friggin' goldfish cracker that I dropped on the floor.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
like,
try
that's
that.
it.
I'll try it again. Let's see. I'm gonna share screen.
Go at the top. Go to Chrome tab.
Well, hold on. All
At the top
right.
of the gray box that when you hit the share screen that pops
Yeah.
open,
Well, I'm not
it'll
Chrome, but Mozilla. So
yeah, well, yeah, so it'll say share screen and it'll give you the two options of the screen, or share application.
mine just says allow StreamYard to see your screen, window or screen. And when I click on the drop down window, it has my desk calendar, Mozilla Firefox, and entire screen.
Go to Firefox.
All right, there's Firefox, and then I'll
Oh
go.
shit. But all right, stop sharing and redo that. But before you click on it, it should give you an option to share audio. No, a little checkbox at the bottom left corner.
Uh, nope.
Well, yeah, you're not going to see it now because you're already sharing. That's why you got to stop sharing.
Okay. Stop sharing. Go
Share again.
again. Share screen.
Pick do like I said to do. Pick the Mozilla Firefox, but
Yeah,
before you
it's
click share, there should be a little checkbox that you got to check that says
nope.
share
All
audio.
mine says is mute website notifications while sharing. Let's try it this way though and just see what happens.
Uh,
All right. Are you seeing the little?
yeah, I got the visual.
All right. Let's see if it plays.
No, no audio. Yeah, see, I don't know how to do it with Mozilla. Right here, you know what you do? Stop sharing. Share your screen.
So there was no sound.
No, yeah, share the
Oh man.
screen. But this time, actually share the screen. Oh, I don't know if you're gonna be able to do two at one time. Shit, never mind.
Oh, it won't let me use Chrome if you like to share audio. I'm not using Chrome. I'm using Firefox. So
Yeah, I downloaded Chrome just to use with StreamYards.
yeah, I might end up doing that. All right. So
It
lesson learned. Lesson learned on that one. Why are you not out getting drunk chasing Poontang?
because I gotta work 16 hours tomorrow. This is my Sunday night.
I got you. I
It's
got you.
everybody else's Friday. This is my Sunday.
Yeah. James said he was just having trouble sleeping. I was in there drawing, and I literally we got the widescreen TV in the den, so I was looking for a stream to watch while I worked. And I have weird interests. Like I'll watch Drakenfell. He is a naval historian, and he'll do a 2 hour Q&A. And he's got this perfect narration voice, and he's very monotonous but interesting. So I'll put him on in the background, and I'll draw for hours. But I wanted to see some of my comic books. Nobody was streaming. So I was like, well, hell, I'll just go live for a little bit, see if anybody wants to hang out.
Yeah, I just updated the campaign with the new page art that I did,
Share it, share it.
um, and posted it to Twitter, and then you messaged me, so I was like, all right. And then I'll pop on for a little bit. Then I gotta go
Yeah.
lay down. But when I go lay down, I'll share it to Instagram and Facebook and all that shit too. All right, I'll share it. One sec. Inks pages.
Yeah, I guess I have to use Chrome to be able to do all. I hate Chrome though. And I don't have anyone lined up as a guest for this weekend. I meant to get a hold of Vic, but I don't have any contact info for him. Can you email me a way to contact him?
I have his email. I mean, before I give it out, let me just check
Yeah, yeah,
and make
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or just rather send him my email. I give you my permission. Send him my email, and
All right, I'll do that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that'll work. That'd be cool. Because I am not
Um,
going on Twitter. But yeah, I'd like to talk to old Vic.
shit.
He's an interesting fellow, and he's a pretty darn good artist too. It's weird because he draws in a style that I used to use for a while. All right, let's take a look here. All right. Ah, you finished that page. Good deal.
Yeah, it's all fit, except for a couple of info boxes.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Um, because there's no dialogue really on this page. So right on this panel here with the staircase, I just gotta put the name. Like she realizes where she is, and it's just gonna say like
Okay,
the name.
if it's just for the what? The move day? What does it
What
say in
happened?
the What does it say in that
Oh,
panel?
oh, it's the lyrics to the song "Break It to Me Gently" by oh, what's her name? Oh, it's gonna drive me nuts now. It's an old classic
Yeah,
tune.
yeah. If it's just for one more day, break it to me gently. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I forget the name of the chick.
Nice.
Um, so like she hears it faintly when she wakes up. That's why it's all small. And as she gets closer to the downstairs, because that's where the music's coming from, it gets louder.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I like that bottom panel too with the dreamy uh, staircase.
Yeah. 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 It's like subtly, like I want it to still be like she's for her. Like she thinks it's real, but to us, we know that there's something up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. She's perceiving it as real, but it's a
yeah. So that's why I didn't go too warped with it, but just enough of a little waver to it so that like we notice it.
hmm
You know.
hmm
So, but
Yep.
yeah, it was mostly all traditional. Except I went in and I did some blending in this area, in this area.
Now,
Um,
hold on a second. "Break It to Me Gently" is a pop song written by blues musician Joe Seneca with lyrics by Diane Lampert, with Brenda Lee. Yep, that's the version I know. And
that's the one.
Juice
That's the
Newton.
one. Yeah.
Met with considerable success with their versions of the song. James, you are a rock star, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, it was the Brenda Lee version. I think that's the version that Aubie had in mind uh,
Yeah.
when she was writing it. So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
yeah, so it starts with the song "Break It to Me Gently," "Let Me Down the Easy Way,"
hmm
"Make Me
hmm
Feel That You Still Love Me," if it's just from one more day. You know.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I gotta stop doing like I don't mind doing intricate panels, but I don't know if I should have like three of them like all on one page.
I just did a. I don't have any pictures of it, but I just did a page that was filled with the crime scene, which includes the bedroom, the street outside with cart. Jesus Christ! I thought I was going to die before I got done with that. You
Yeah,
know, I
yeah,
had to did the whole 2 point perspective layout and was hating life with it. And uh, I hate, above all things, I hate drawing cars. I hate it. When kids in school would be drawing cars, I'd be drawing portraits. You know,
right.
so every kid in the universe can draw a car better than I can. But I pulled it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. If I have to do something, I'm gonna definitely like light box it. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna light box the shit out of that car.
If I had a light box, I would have. What I did do was I went to David Finch's channel and watched how to draw cars over and put it on loop.
Uh, I'll send you the link to the one I got on Amazon. It was like $25. It's got you just plug it into any old USB phone charger thing, like block that. You know what I mean?
No, I mean I could build one easily. I've got the. I don't know if you see them behind me. I've got three CS 5000 daylight simulating bulbs above my easel, uh, and absolutely the best light you can get. And I can certainly put one of those into a box and put some plexi on it. But I don't know.
Let me.
I draw on a pretty thick plate paper. So will it show through? I mean, I
Excuse
guess
me.
it would.
Yeah, I mean, uh, I haven't tried it on the Bristol yet. I've just done it on regular like copy paper.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess I could do that since I'm going to scan them all anyway. Just do it on some sketch paper or some smooth
Yeah,
paper. That would
yeah,
wake.
yeah, because like you could even like on one of the things I did, not for this book, but for something else. I had to lightbox something, so I lightboxed it on photo paper, cut it out into the size I needed, put it on the main Bristol board and then drew
Yeah,
around it because I was scanning it anyway. You know, like so once I
yeah,
scanned it, I could clean up the line. The lines that you could see the paper, the cutout.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
just clean it all up, make it look like it belonged right there. You know.
yeah. The way it's looking right now, I'll probably have 2 or 3 pages of Bristol that are redraws that I'll clip in Photoshop and put where they go in the pages, so you can do it pretty seamlessly digitally instead of the
Yeah.
like you showed. You know the Eric Larson one you've got. That's how we did it back in the day. Was cut out that panel and literally use rubber cement to put it on, and then uh, I don't know how the inker managed to get rid of the shadow line of that, but they did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even imagine how when the work got back to the publisher, because I did not, my raw art was not lettered on. The word balloons, thought balloons, and narration boxes were done on a separate sheet, cut out and rubber cemented onto the originals. So I don't know how in the world they did all that back before the modern technology that we're using now, but they did.
Yeah. It's amazing, right? Yeah. Could you imagine? It probably looked like a fifth grader's arts and crafts project. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like just
yeah.
all cut up and pasted together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't even know who lettered my book. The publisher never credited them, and I think I told you the cover of one of the Assassinette books that I was able to find and get a shot of. They deleted my name off the cover and my inker's initials. It was the weirdest thing.
No, I don't think you told me that. That's crazy.
Yeah, on the cover, I signed the work, and the inker back in the day, you signed your last name, and your inker would put their initials under your name.
Right.
Uh, and sure as shit, this copy that from another comic book company bought Pocket Change Comics, and they deleted my name.
Weird.
Why? So what was I going to do? Come after them for that whole 75 cents royalties?
I mean, did they still give you? Were you still given credit inside the book or no?
I don't know. I've just got a copy of the cover. I mean, like if you go right now and you search for it on Google, it'll bring it up. Uh, Matter of fact, let me do that, and then I'll share a screen if I can find it.
Yes, because sometimes maybe they just wanted to clean it up, but like as long as you still got credit, I mean, jeez.
Let's see if I can find it. Uh, okay, weird. Hold on. This one that I just found has my name on it, so I'm going to save that one, and then I'll share it. Whoops! Made the whole world go away. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. All right, here we go. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen for the third time. All right, so there it is. I mean, it's not a very good copy, as you can see. And down here, there's my name. So it's here on this one. And my inker's initials are right there. So this is a copy that doesn't have the reprint banner up here, but this was the cover of number 7.
Nice.
I did, I think 7, 8, and 9 for them. So let me look that up and see.
Excuse me.
Can't find a copy of number 8 anywhere. It's not even showing up. But that was the one that he got Art Williams to ink my pencils, and it may have sold out. They weren't big print runs to begin with. Interesting. I'll have to research that a little bit more. Like, where did the other issues go? I also never got my pages back from that guy. Not to be confused with Chuck Dixon. This was a guy named Bob Dixon that owned Pocket Change Comics. And he ripped me off bad. Like,
Yeah, a lot of the small publishers did back then, you know?
yeah, I never got paid for the last issue. Never got my original art back. And then he up and sold the company while I was busy trying to track him down to kick his ass. Because he didn't live terribly far away. I would have went after him. Jerk. And that is yet another reason, Anthony, that you and I can do our own books and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's true.
Because some
Because
publishers...
only people we'd be fucking over are ourselves. So.
Exactly right. Yep. I've worked for myself almost all of my working life. So my joke was always that, my boss is an asshole, but it's okay because my employee's a shithead. What are you clicking away on over there?
Oh, I shared the pictures, and now I got a bunch of notifications, so I'm just liking everybody's comments.
Oh, okay. All right. Over on Twitter?
Yeah. So, all right. There we go.
Over in the Twitterverse. Yeah, I like that page.
The Twatter sphere.
Yeah. I really like that page, man. That layout's really good. And that big grand staircase is something that, listen, if my writer sent me that in the script, I'm immediately getting in touch again. Why don't we try this instead?
Yeah, but it was like kind of necessary for the...
I know.
Well, here's the thing. This is so great, because she's from TV, right?
Yeah.
So all that was conveyed, like her waking up, she sees that she's in the, I forget the guy's last names, estate. She descends and then she descends a long staircase. That was all for panel 1.
Oh my God.
I was like, no, it's got to be its own page.
Yeah.
I was like, I get like that. That's in a TV series. That's scene 1, quote unquote scene 1. She wakes up. She comes to the staircase. She comes down the staircase. End scene. Right?
Yeah.
So, like I get it, but
well,
and then she had a little bit of back and forth. Like after she realized she was in the so where the she's at the top of the staircase, and then you see both staircases coming down to the foyer. That third panel or fourth panel. After that, then you cut down to a room downstairs where there's a guy that she's going down to meet,
Uh-huh.
fixing tea.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you see his hands next to the, like, and it's just a shot of his hands, the teapot, and the cups and stuff like that. And then it goes to her descending the staircase, and then back to him, and then she comes in the room, and he comes in from the opposite end of the room, and they meet in like this like sitting area.
Mm-hmm.
And it went back and forth, and I was like, no, it's not going to read right that way. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
I do.
people,
I was just trying to visualize in my head how I would draw that, and the way she's saying it. No, that's not how I would do this.
yeah. Well, again, this is we're adapting from a TV script, so I had
Yeah,
to make some changes. Like
yeah.
no,
I would just say, look, instead of doing this script first, let's do this plot first, and I'll do the page breakdowns, let you see them, and then we'll go from there.
well, that's
I
basically
prefer
what
that
we're
method.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's basically what we're doing. She's giving me the script, and then I'm interpreting it into like a comic book
yeah,
like plot script, and
yeah,
then once that's done, then she can go in with the dialogue. Like, just give me the
yeah.
basics, like the song and like the name of the guy's estate. I can
Mhm.
put all that in now, and then the dialogue we can go back in and do later.
Yeah.
So
See, DC always worked script first. Marvel works plot first. That's just the way it started. The Stan Lee would tell Jack Kirby the story and write it down on some typing paper. Kirby would do the whole book, give it back to Stan, and then Stan would kind of shape the dialogue to the panels.
right.
And so it just carried on that way. Still does, to the best of my knowledge. And I much preferred that way. That allows me to be the director, not just.
The cameraman.
Yeah, James wants to know, is she doing the panel layouts with you?
No, she's not doing the panel. She's got them written down. Like, she's trying to take her script and break it up into panels, and then giving those to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm basically doing the actual visual layouts myself, because like I said,
Yeah,
if I did it her way, it wouldn't.
27 panels per page.
Yeah.
um,
So
I realized when I actually laid mine out today, to look at the pages as if I were looking through the book, it was like, I need another page of material right here for the character. So that's exact. I was holding the pencil in my hand, and I'm either going to redraw a couple of panels that I'm not completely happy with, or I can go on and do this next page. So I couldn't make up my mind. I said, screw it. I'm going to watch some live stream. Nobody was live streaming, so here I am. So I still don't know what I'm going to do when I get back in there.
yeah. Well, then she got nervous. She was like, "Well, is that going to make the book longer?" I'm like, "No, because the parts that you had going back and forth, I could take those couple of panels of the guy with the teapot and everything from page 3, combine them with
Yeah,
parts of page 4,
just
make that
condense it.
page 4, yeah, and then what you call it, and then like spread out. By the time we get, I get to page 6, like, because I'm kind of going random right now. Um, so like I've got Ing's halfway done for like page 20. You know what I mean? But like what you call it? Like that was page 3, right? So when I get to page, but like what she has written for pages 3 through 6, it'll still be 3 through 6. I'll just
Yeah, exactly.
rearrange
You're
it. Yeah.
condense it. James, the interior of the book is black and white, so I am painting those in black and white rather than drawing and inking because I'm not an inker. So they're pretty much painted interiors, just in gray wash. I tried painting a cover, but because I paint in pasto alla prima technique. Hey, Andy! I sent you the link in Facebook Messenger, so go get it and come on in. Um, so I tried, James, to just do watercolor wash on the cover, but it just didn't scan worth a crap, and it wasn't up to my speed. So I figured I'd get a professional colorist and spend the money to get a great looking cover, and then I'm pretty pleased with the interior work. Andy, let me know if you got the link or not. If not, I'll resend it to you. But that's a good observation. I actually said it to Anthony the other day. Is uh, kind of weird that I'm a painter. I work in color. I mean, there's one back there, my most recent, and I'm hiring a colorist. It feels wrong, but it is what it is. Unless I go get 11 by 17 panels of masonite, which is an art board that we paint on. Hold on, I'll show you one.
Yeah, you can figure out a way to do it eventually, but until you find a way that you're comfortable with that works well with the medium, uh, yeah, might as well get a colorist.
Right. So this is masonite. This one's a backboard for my students when they're painting. But if you can hear that, it's hard and smooth on one side, corrugated on the other side, and we paint on these. You can do beautiful work on these. They paint differently than a canvas. So unless I can cut some of those to 11 by 17 and paint covers, I won't be painting any covers. Yeah, that was a long spiel to say. Oh
You should be
no!
able. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to cut those down.
Oh yeah,
It's just
I can get them cut. But keep
yeah,
in
you
mind
could
also.
probably even take it somewhere and get it cut. This way you don't fuck it up.
Oh yeah, when I buy a sheet, it comes in the same size sheets as plywood, and it only costs $7 for a sheet that size. So
Right.
I'll get them cut into the standard painting sizes, and for the cost of that $7, I basically got like $300 or $400 worth of canvases because canvas is expensive.
Yeah.
So as a teacher, unless my students are providing their own supplies, I provide the Bristol board for them to, not Bristol board. God, I'm doing comic books again. I provide the masonite for them to paint on. What a trip. And also, let me do this. Da, 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 da.
Oh, is this you? You changed your name of your channel.
I did. Throwback Studios.
Oh, I saw that notification pop up, and I was like, I don't know who that is. It's like, who the hell did I subscribe to?
Yeah, that's why I thought I would drop this one. All right, let me share screen one more time. Andy, I'll let you in just a second, my friend. Mozilla allow. Then I'm going to go over here. Now, let me show you if I can find a good example. Yeah, this is the only painting I have of a person right now, and I can't enlarge it in my website. So this is what the covers would look like. It's impressionism. It's not that precise line stuff that comic book fans like. But if if fans could get okay with it, I could paint my own covers.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're still action packed or whatever, they can
Yeah,
still be.
it's a very heavy-handed style of painting. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
paint is thick. It has a texture you can feel. So yeah, let's get Andy in here. What's up, Monkey Man O'Brien?
Nothing. How are you?
What's up, Andy?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear
We
you.
hear you. Can you
Yeah.
hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
You know, Doc, you ever think about using a mat board that you buy for cutting
Yeah,
around paintings?
yeah.
Use that, and
It
then once you're done,
doesn't work. With the painting technique that I use, it literally it turns into goo under the acrylic paint. If you do it in washes, it would work. You can do that with watercolor, but you cannot do it with oil or heavy acrylic.
well, I don't know what you're doing with your paint, but wow, because I have no
Laying it on
problems.
thick.
I use I they use that with oils as well. So I don't. Wow.
I don't know, man. Unless they're doing something new with mat board, because I haven't painted on mat since. Well, I'm not gonna say how long, but James says, well, depending, you could paint every panel of your book and scan it. Digital painting styles are growing more popular. Ooh, that's a lot of work, James. Paint every panel. Holy cow! I thought about doing something like each page having one painted panel as the anchor panel, uh, and the rest of them be the black and white. I don't know. I mean, there's so many possibilities of fun stuff to do, but I think a painted cover would be next. But I would do it on masonite.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool, like if everything was drawn, but like you get to like one certain splash page, like, and that splash page could be like done. You know, obviously it would be in a totally different style than the rest of the art in the book,
Mm-hmm.
um, but because it's the splash page, like maybe like a
Yeah,
chapter page or something. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah. That's where my brain was going with it. Uh, James's idea just I almost had a stroke when I saw that. Paint every panel for the love of God. Let's see, 58 pages times five. I mean, I'm sorry, 50 pages times five uh, panels minimum. Uh,
but he's not wrong though. There,
250 paintings. Ah!
digital. There's like digital painters that are, their artwork is growing
Mm.
in popularity. You know, like it
Well,
looks
what's
like
funny is
a painted book. Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure
Hi,
out.
Rosetta. Go ahead, Andy.
You just seem to like you're explaining your painting style, and I'm just trying to figure out a way for you to do it,
You do it
or
on Masonite.
you could do a painted cover without spending a shit ton of money like that.
Oh no, Masonite's not expensive at all. It's dirt cheap. Like I can get a sheet that would cover the top of your car for $7, and then cut it down to size.
No. Well,
Rosetta, what are you up to today, dear?
hmm.
So it's not expensive to do, and James had asked, could they scan it? Yeah, they can scan that. It's not terribly thick as you saw. So I'll show it one more time for Andy. This is that material, Andy. I don't know if you've ever worked on it.
No, I've worked on all that stuff. That's why I was just you're
Masonite.
you're you were saying how you destroy thin paper with the way you paint. I'm
Yeah,
just trying to imagine that because like all the research I've done on like Frank Frazetta, who worked in oils and
tempera.
acrylic.
He worked in tempera
He
mostly.
worked mostly in oils
No, he
and
did not.
acrylic.
He worked mostly in tempera, and you know what brand he used? Walt
Well,
Disney
then
Children's Tempera Paint.
all the biographies, and the Fire and Ice are lying about him because
Well, there's a documentary that's by his son. It's on YouTube, and he would tell you, Dad got up in the morning, and he would do the layout, and he would get frustrated with other people because they couldn't produce work as fast as he could. Then he would go outside, play with the kids for a while, come back inside and work and finish the work that night. And
well,
I don't I
I'm
don't
just going
remember
by
what
what I
substrate.
just read last week as well. So it's yeah, that's cool. That
Yeah, they said he was working with literally those little bitty tubs. Andy, you're old enough to remember those little tubs of Disney tempera paints. That's what he painted with.
I remember. I grew up with Frank Frazetta. That's kind of why
Me
I
too.
mentioned him. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't grow up
Um,
with him, but. And
you
what was
know,
the
I
other
mean,
guy?
he was at his peak in the '70s and '80s. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the era I grew up with him.
Yeah, same. Uh, and then there was that other guy that painted similar Valero,
Yeah,
painted all.
Valo and his wife, and then
Yeah,
you ever look at Jim Jesko
yeah, yeah.
or Joe Jesko? I studied him. Basil Gogos, Gogos. he's a horror painter from the
Hmm.
70s. I studied him. I have books on all these guys. That's why
Yeah.
I was saying, because the
Yeah.
books even say oil and acrylic. So
Well, the son might have been wrong, but he absolutely, that's what he said in the video, and I watched it not
yeah,
recently. I mean, not too long ago. Uh,
because he was
Rosetta
always
says,
talking about how he hated using acrylics because he loved oils, but oils took so long and he had such like almost
deadlines.
daily deadlines that
Yeah.
he yeah, because those are guys I love, and just the way he captured colors and shit,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, just like Basil Gogos. Um, you've seen his work, right?
I'm familiar with the name. I'm not able to visualize him right now.
Yeah, his color palette is just amazing.
Hmm.
It's nothing like a normal person, but
Well, Rosetta says that I never used tempera. We were too broke when she was a kid. There's two kinds of tempera. There's the expensive kind that you grind up, mix with your own medium, whether it's distilled water uh, or oil, and that's the expensive stuff. Or there's the cheap tempera that they used in our high school that came in the big jars, and you
Yeah.
shook it up, and it was, oh god, it was horrible to paint with.
see, I love just the cheap shit because it just it works so well for me, which is
Yeah.
kind of funny because even some of the best known painters say they prefer like the cheap shit because
Hmm.
you know
By the way, Rosetta, it was the same thing for me. I was bored shitless and needed to vent and talk to somebody. The wife's already asleep, and I was working. Tried to watch a live stream. Nobody was streaming, so poof, here I is. And I drug out the usual cast of characters to come hang with me.
yeah. I just woke up, so I decided to take the day off and I worked on some art and I wasn't feeling the greatest.
Oh man, I'm
Oh,
sorry to hear that.
Oh no,
that's
it's
all right,
all
brother.
good. I'll get it resolved.
Yeah, Rosetta, we defined broke. Dad was a drug addict, so we went for a few years there with no gas heat in the house, no food, no hot water. You had to boil water on the fireplace to take your bath, and of course, with addiction, you can't tell anybody. You can hop in. Um, I will share the link in the chat and just won't let in any trolls if they show up. How about that,
Who's coming in?
Rosetta? There you go, my dear. Hit it. Come on in.
Yeah, you can kick whoever you want. No.
I'll never kick Andy. Andy, you are one hell of an artist, and you are fun to have around.
I'm okay. I just like having fun.
That's it, brother. Although you just woke up, I gotta go crash. I gotta wake up at 7 in the morning.
All right, buddy.
What you call it? You guys have fun, and
Well, you kind of wore out and spent from the other night.
yeah, the last few days have been pretty rough.
Yeah.
No, you can't say rough.
Oh, it was good. I had a little tussle in the bedroom the other night that I got interviewed on JDA's stream about today. So,
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
gosh.
watched it.
What trouble are you guys up to?
I didn't see that. I'll have to look that up.
It was
Anthony.
a stream today. No trouble. I'm actually going to bed because I got 16 hours of work tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in Chicago tomorrow, so.
Go get your head down, brother.
Yeah, now Doc's got some company. I can.
You're gonna
I can
ditch
go
it with me. You're so mean. You're sadistic.
You and Andy. So I mean I'm going to hell for that. So what you
Hey,
call
don't
it?
feel bad. I'm driving the bus, so it's all good.
There you go. And we got James Hayes in the chat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
James wants to know who did the pencils and colors of Monkey Man and O'Brien. And I should know this. I remember
That
when it
was
came out.
Arthur. Arthur Adams did the pencils. Hold on, and I'll see who did the colors.
Yep, Art Adams.
Yeah, I
All
love
right,
Art
Anthony. I
Adams.
appreciate you coming in, brother. Go get your head down.
Absolutely. You guys have a good
I'm
one.
trying
Take
to
it
fix
easy.
my camera because it's having
too, bud.
issues. So please don't. Hi.
Okay, here's who did the art: Arthur Adams, and the next two guys. Well, one's a woman, I think.
Laura
And
Allred,
the,
Matt Hollingsworth.
yeah, and then letters were this person, and that's the logo design. And Dark Horse Comics has put it out.
Yep.
I've had this since it. Whoa, actually, when did it come out? Let me see. I had the original issues, but I lost them since I moved. Since I moved many times.
Yeah, I was just talking to my buddy that's the big art collector, and I said, give me an estimate on how many comic books you own. And of course, he just had a flood in his apartment and lost several. But he said around 15,000 comics in his personal collection. And he has every Playboy from 1968 forward and most of the ones from before 68 back to 53. So that's a hell of a collection. I said,
Yeah, it says.
what percent have you read of that? And he said about 80%. So.
Says 1997 for copyright. So I've had this since 1987 or 1997.
Mm-hmm.
Book, still in pretty good shape. You can see it's beat up and battered, but I love this book.
Yeah.
Because his art is just one of my favorite. I also own almost everything he's put out. John Burns is another one I collect. Walter Simonson.
Yep.
There's just
George
so
Perez.
many. George Perez. I got a bunch of his shit.
I had the George Perez poster that was every single Marvel character that was ever in the Avengers, and I lost it. Hi,
There was
Rosetta.
a shadowy figure in your room.
Yeah, that'd be the husband.
Yeah, he looked happy.
Not at all.
He has to drive into Chicago tomorrow with me.
Okay.
Means he has to
Chicago
deal with
sucks.
Yeah, but it's the only chance I'm gonna get to see a friend before he's further out of reach again. So he has to take his wife that hates crowds and people into Chicago. He's not exactly looking forward to it.
So what are you nervous about tomorrow?
I don't travel well. I always can't sleep before traveling.
Got you. Are you agoraphobic?
With people, yeah. Nature I can handle. It's people.
Okay, so some social anxiety.
Yeah, it's a really specific. It's between the social anxieties and agoraphobia, but it's related to crowds and people because of stuff I've said.
I got you. Look at that, Andy. You finished the one from last night. That's good looking piece.
I finished both from last night.
See, my stuff's more traditional arts.
Nice.
Finished that one the other night.
Well, when you're traveling tomorrow, just take your sketch pad and draw the whole time.
Do something. Oh, Lord.
I don't enjoy traveling.
I'm taking my cameras, so I'll be doing photography down at the zoo while I'm there. I'm not going to go that far and not do it.
How long a drive is that for you?
Well, it's only about a 4-hour drive each way.
I don't enjoy
when I say
traveling.
Only about a 4-hour drive each way, here's the context to what kind of driving I have to do often. Sunday, after the last few weeks of photography and constant traveling and 8 to 10 miles a day hikes and stuff like this for my photography, I laid down after this basically 13-hour day of work to try to get some rest early in the evening, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was laying down about 10 minutes and my husband came in the room to tell me that my brother and my nieces were stranded in the city and his car was dead and he couldn't get out.
Oh, no.
So that night I drove about 5 hours to get to the city where he was, to stay in the hotel to help him out in the morning, deal with his car, help pack, deal with all their stuff, help get the girls and get him rentals, all this stuff, and then help take the girls back to his house because he was driving with a larger van. He had kids. He had a van full of stuff that was being moved from house to house. He had...
So 20 years ago, I had a similar friend called me.
There's a lot more to this one yet.
All right, I'll come back, but I got to tell this before I forget.
Okay, go ahead.
20 years ago, I had a buddy of mine. He called me and he said he was stranded in Fort Lauderdale. I'm in Atlanta. In my head, I don't know why, but I heard Daytona. Florida's a long-ass state.
Yeah, it is.
I was halfway there when I realized Fort Lauderdale is right next to Miami. I'm going to be driving for 8 hours down and 8 hours back. So that was rough. Yeah, look at that. That's some Dale Keown work.
Yep. I got a lot of his stuff too.
What happened after that is, okay, once I got everything done and I got him taken care of, and basically while I was at that city, it was basically about 6 a.m. till noon. I was helping deal with all this stuff and get him going with the rental and all this, and deal with lugging things, loading cars, all this shit, and running them all over the city. Then I had to help get the girls home. So I had to drive 8 some hours to get them to their house the other direction from the city I was at with him. And when I say 8 some hours, you're talking about, you know, the Dakota area of the country. You're talking about highways where the speed limit's 80 and most people are driving 90.
Yeah.
So you start adding context to how many miles that is when you're doing 8 up to 9 hours of that kind of speed. And that included having to pass through the desert edge of the Badlands in 110-degree weather with kids in the car. Oh, Lord. Get done with that. Get them to their mother's place. Get all their stuff unloaded from my car. Help take care of some stuff with her. Leave her. Run several errands in that city. And end up getting a place to stay between there and my parents' place. My dad being my dad and wanting to spend time with me, not knowing now if I'm going to be able to make it to do the stuff I was trying to do with him at the end of this next month here, because shelled quite a bit of money out to do this crap for my brother and help him. So my dad's like, well, she's got to spend some time in the mountains with us while she's here, at least before she goes home. Fine. So I get up really early the next morning at the hotel, and I deal with all the stuff. I sort out the mess the kids left in the car, clean things out, organize things, get things, drive through the mountains to my parents' place, switch into their car, and go into the mountains with them all day, hiking and exploring. No rest point between that stuff, nothing. In the mountains all day, driving around trails, hiking, photographing bighorn sheep and bison and stuff like that with them. And oh, Lord.
Yeah, that's a no for me. That's a hard no.
Oh, I'm a mountain girl. I grew up in that stuff. I love that stuff. But again, I'm also a nature photographer. I'm used to that stuff. The mountains.
No, I mean that long in a car. No. My thing is,
again, it's a lot better because
I'm not phobic about traveling, but I always feel like I'm wasting time. There's something else I could be doing. Why didn't I fly? You know, always goes through my brain.
I can't fly, and honestly, if I'm in a car, I'm at least stopping places and getting photos for my work and stuff like that. So there's at least
it just drives me crazy because I've been a workaholic all my life. If I'm awake, I need to be accomplishing something.
I am too, but when I'm driving, I make enough stops to do my photography work and stuff that I am accomplishing with it, you know? Unfortunately, I kind of have to drive a lot to get to the different locations to do that work. It just do, because you can't just fly to all these little obscure places in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So the next morning, go to bed at my mom's place after helping her clean out a whole part of her house and get things organized for me to stay overnight, because she was using what is normally the guest room as a temp room for stuff while she was emptying out her house and dealing with the fact that she got bit by a black widow that got into her house about a week ago. And so everything that she was dealing with as she searched it, made sure the spider wasn't in it, was going through things and getting rid of these, making sure there's none in the house that could hurt the grandkids and stuff. All the stuff that had been checked and verified was in that normal guest room where I would usually stay. So that room was completely barricaded when I got there. So I had to help him get ready for me to just even have a place to sleep. Finally get to bed, get up early, and head out. Goal was simple, was supposed to have a hotel partway between there and home that night. So I left really early, and I took the long route through the mountains to do some photo work. I went into the Badlands and went through the desert and through some of the back roads and did a bunch of photo stuff. And drove all these routes and stuff and got to Minnesota. And at that point, I'd been driving. When I hit Minnesota, I'd been out of my parents' place almost 10 hours that day already.
Does Minnesota have prairies?
Not much. They don't
Okay.
really have prairies, and they don't really have mountains. They're just kind of
I wondered because Little House on the Prairie is set in Minnesota.
Most of the prairie
I
parts that
never
are in
knew that.
Minnesota, most of the prairie parts that are in Minnesota are right to the edge where it hits North
Yeah.
and South Dakota. That's about it. But so I got there, and I've been driving almost 10 hours and hiking almost 10 hours and stuff that day. And I was an hour or something from where the hotel was supposed to be. Okay, I'll get some rest. The hotel's in this little place where there's almost no towns and almost nothing between it and home several hours away because it's right in that dead area of Iowa. Get to what's supposed to be my hotel stay and find out that the town that it's on, the lake is completely covered in the flower I'm allergic to.
Oh, good.
I couldn't breathe in the city at all. I couldn't breathe for miles outside of it in every direction. So we had to cancel the hotel, which meant I had to drive home.
Oh,
By
boy.
the time I got through all this, dealt with everything, and got home that night, I'd been driving and hiking almost 18 hours straight.
Yeah, no. See, that's a hard no. I'm not doing that. Nope.
That was
nope,
this
nope.
week. That was this week.
Yeah. God bless you. I'm not doing that.
Iowa
If-
sucks.
I live literally 30 minutes
Do you want the
from the dead
free-
center of Atlanta. And if someone says, I need you to pick me up at the airport, which is on the outskirts, I have to think hard about it before I waste my time. I don't want to come up there. Plus,
I was
Atlanta's
gonna
a
ask
nightmare.
him, does he want the clean version of what Iowa is by the letters of the state, or does he want the naughty one?
What?
I have opinions of Iowa too, and I can tell
I
you.
live in Iowa, so I know all of them. So I was
Oh
making
really?
a joke.
I bet you.
That's
have
why
not.
when you said you were 4 hours away from Chicago, I knew you were in Iowa.
But
Okay, I have a
because-
question.
Because
I bet
I'm
you
4
haven't
hours.
heard this one.
I'm 4 hours from Chicago myself. So
I have
You
a
in
question.
the city?
Is Iowa a state?
well, you could say, hey, is Atlanta in a state?
Well, I mean, seriously, what's the biggest city in Iowa?
Des Moines, which is actually the metro, is a little over 1 million. The city itself is around 600.
What's the city? What is it?
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
Right. Cedar Rapids is the second largest, which the main part of the city is 127,000. The metro is a little over 250,000.
Yeah, Atlanta is trash. Okay, the only reason I even mention Atlanta is because it's the only city in the state most people know.
I bet you haven't heard that one I just put in private chat because I came up with it.
I don't see anything in private chat.
I gotta go to private chat.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
I
nasty.
gotta put on my other eyeballs.
I have lived in Iowa for about the same time I've been married, about 15 years, and it's not because I like the state. It's because my husband works in avionic engineering, and this is where they have a lot of the big compounds for that.
See, my home is actually in the low country of South Carolina. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Beaufort, South Carolina, Port Royal, but you
Not
are.
really.
But you
Never really
have.
been much to
But
the
you
north.
have heard of Paris Island, South Carolina, Marine Corps boot camp. And I'm sure you've heard of Hilton Head, the big resort. Those are all the same county. So I'm from the Carolina coast originally, but having lived here this long, I've learned that most people would never have heard of where I'm at. So I just usually say the South Metro Atlanta.
I grew up in the Black Hills, so I grew up dealing with Sturgis and the Old West and all in the mountains and all that stuff.
Yeah, we wear loud Hawaiian shirts and listen to a lot of Jimmy Buffett where I'm from.
Whereas where I grew up, it's a lot of you've got tourists from all over the world constantly year round because of the mountain range and the tribal stuff and all that. So the tourists are so plumed this time of year, so brightly colored, as they say. And then you've got all the headbanging bikers and the leather and the more gothic undertone of the area and stuff. So
yeah, when we got
and then
tourists,
you mix all the tribal in, so it's a really weird combination there.
we used to call the tourists that would come down to the low country Turons. Like, I got stuck behind some Turon.
Is that like when somebody tells me they're going to Menards and I tell them they're going to Mentards?
Certainly, certainly. And
Okay.
I like Menards.
there's actually a rivalry between the cities of Port Royal and Beaufort. And I lived in Port Royal most of the time. And so we called the women over in Beaufort Bufalos or Bufarillos. They didn't have a good name for us.
No, as you can tell by what I put in private chat, if you actually read it, I have an opinion of the people in this area.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, he said he's about 4 hours too. I was going to say, is he in one of the cities or in one of the towns near a city?
Either or.
Oh, Rosetta, this is Andy, by the way. Andy, this is Rosetta.
Hello.
See, everyone knows I'm in the Cedar Rapids area because I post a lot of the stuff on the photography and where I take it.
Oh, you're in a shithole. That's why you have a bad opinion of the people.
Let's be a little clear. I'm at least not in the low end of town and not in the slummy parts. I just do outreach there.
Cedar Rapids, period's a shithole.
I've been all over this state. This state is a shithole.
So,
the only
Andy,
good thing
you
about
are
this state
for
is
Des
truckers
Moines?
ones. No, if he was in Des Moines, it'd be closer to 6 hours to Chicago.
Well, is all I know is, and that's a phrase I learned here in Georgia, is all I know is, Andy, that's not an Iowa accent. So what part of New England originally?
I was born and raised in Iowa.
Then how in the world do you have a Jersey accent?
It's just the way I talk. I've talked this way my whole life.
Right on.
I was going to say 4 hours from Chicago range, around 4 hours, usually puts people between Waterloo and Iowa City.
But I've been all over the country in 25 years, so But I've also spent most of my life around non-white people, so I guess maybe it's some of that.
If you ever get the chance, there's a book by Louis Grizzard called "If I Ever Get Back to Georgia, I'm Going to Nail My Feet to the Ground," where he discusses his unfortunate incarceration in Chicago when he was the editor of their newspaper up there. And it's one of the funniest books he ever wrote.
See, I met my husband in college in Idaho. I've been through Washington stuff. I've lived in a bunch of states, mostly Midwest to the Northwest mountains, but I've traveled most everything but the Northeast so far.
I've been all over the country, and I would say there's, out of all the states, this is one of the better states, to be honest.
I think the furthest north I've ever been is Washington, D.C. But every state along that latitude line I have been to. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California.
See, last year I decided I'd brave this big trip. I don't have I don't get along in this area. I really don't. Because they are not receptive to the headbanger girls like me in this area. And I'm not a flatlander. I don't like flatlands. I like mountains or at
You
least
you're
more waterways
you're
and
meeting
stuff.
the wrong people because like the Cedar Rapids area, that is well, it used to be. I don't know what it's like now, but from Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, that all used to be like headbanger people.
Not at least I've been married. I've been all over this city. I've told people all over this city.
So yeah,
They're all uptight anymore. All of it.
See, I haven't been up there in a long time, but I still know it's a shithole.
But there's reasons I have to live here.
Yeah, but
My husband got his work for one
Yeah.
of the big companies here that does the avionic engineering work, and
Yep. No,
I
that's
go with my
understandable.
husband's work. I don't like humidity. I don't like flatlands. I don't like farms.
See, that's why you don't get along with people. You don't like any of those.
I'm not hostile to people, though. That's the difference. It may not fit here, but I'm not hostile to them. You know?
So this is the, by the way, my new logo, Andy.
I can't show you what I'm drawing right now. I don't want to get your channel in trouble.
Well, let's don't get me in trouble.
Is it a girl with titties with her nipples out?
That would be mild.
That's my front yard. Woo.
That's a cool flower.
I live where it is lush and green and beautiful.
Yeah, anyway, I saw that. I didn't see that on the show yesterday because my computer was lacking.
This is this. I just designed this logo for my comic book imprint. What do you think?
I like it, but it's missing something.
Well, I wanted it to be very simple. But
yeah, striking. But you can still be simple and have it like I don't know. It's missing something.
I like it.
Well, that's fine that you like it, but
I like it.
If other people are like on it, they're not going to want to pick up your book.
Well, hopefully, the artwork on the cover will make them pick up the book.
But if you had a kick-ass logo, they'd pick up the book just as quickly. I'm just fucking with you.
That's not bondage art.
No, I'm not going to show you the other one.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
I'm not going to get you in trouble. I'll show you the stuff that's okay on streams.
Well, I've already shown nudity in drawings on my channel, so because there is a
full nudity.
Yeah, there's a nude scene in my graphic novel.
Full nudity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was full nude.
Yeah. I'm not going to be doing any close-ups of genitals anytime soon, but it was necessary to the story, so we did
full nudity.
Yeah, but not with restraints, but with being dragged by the hair. Yeah, we got that. So, but anyway, I was going to say, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up and go eat a donut and get back to work. And I appreciate you guys hanging out.
End it on cat girls with guns.
James, always a pleasure to have you here, sir. And Rosetta, it was nice to have you. I wish you safe travels tomorrow. Andy, always a pleasure to have you, sir.
Yeah, man. I will talk to you later.
Yep. Anytime, brother. Have a good morning, everybody.
Evening.